am so happy to see you here today. I'm so happy to be here with you today. It's so good to be back live with the League of Gluten-Free Adventurers. This is like my happy place, y'all. So, let's see, for anyone who is tuning in for the first time, my name is Miri Pizann. I am a gluten-free coach. I help people figure out how to get back to feeling normal while still safely eating gluten-free. And yes, I promise you, this is possible. I remember what it was like early on. I went through like everything. Oh God, I felt so alone. I felt ostracized. I felt frustrated, like there was nothing that would be safe for me to eat. I was just going to have to resign myself to salads and ice cubes for the rest of my life, and not even with croutons because gluten, and maybe not even with salad dressing because of gluten. But I promise you, solutions exist. They are available. It is possible for you to live a full and fulfilling life, a delicious life. So I just want you to know that. What is going on over here? Okay, I don't know. Okay. Tech fun, isn't it? And I love it when it makes noises, but it doesn't tell me why. And so it's just kind of happening randomly. So that's exciting. Anyway, so where was I? Yes, it doesn't have to be like that. I have found ways to eat all the same foods that I used to. I eat out frequently with my husband, with my family, and I don't get glutened, and that can be true for you too, if you, when you decide that you're ready for it. Okay. So yeah, let's see. Today's date is Friday, September 1st. Oh my gosh. See, it's overcast, it's raining a little bit, and I know that some people think that that's not a beautiful day, but trust me, when half of your state is on fire, rain is a beautiful thing. I am so excited. The air is clean, there's no smoke. So drop it in the comments. Let me know how you're doing out there. Are you enjoying your fall weather, your official fall weather, or are you mourning the loss of summer? I know that a lot of people get into the pumpkin spice life. And so if that's for you, I am so excited for you that pumpkin spice is hitting. All right. So today, got gluten, get comfy. We're talking about how to deal with being glutened. And I know that I see this like constantly throughout the community. Somebody who's new is like, oh my gosh, you guys, I just got glutened. What do I do? And Petal, dear one, that is such a loaded question. Not only because all of us are uniquely different and beautiful, like my one of my songs is, but like each body reacts differently, and there are so many different reasons to being gluten-free in the first place. I know people whose throats close up. I know people who get really bad arthritis. I know people who have bathroom problems or skin problems. And so just saying, y'all, I got glutened, what do I do? That doesn't, there's really no answer for that. It's so general. So what I want to say is, like, I can't give you specific advice because we're not sitting here talking to one. That may be something that I can help with my one-to-one clients, but so we're going to talk really generally, right? So number one is the most obvious, which is, if you're eating gluten still, stop. Like, I know I've had, especially in the beginning, I had a couple of times where like I would bite into something, realize, I'm not sure, I didn't read the ingredients, check the box, check the ingredients, or ask the waiter or whatever. Find out that it did contain gluten, and I'd be like, well, in for a penny, in for a pound, and then I'd go ahead and eat the whole thing. And it's like, no, don't do that. You're making things worse for future you. right? So if you can figure out, and here's the thing, sometimes it's not obvious, it's not like on the ingredients list, or it's not something that the waiter said, it's like some weird hidden thing. And so you might have to do a little bit of detective work to figure it out, but you've got to stop eating gluten. Now, one of our members here in the league talks about how her solution to that is to fast. And that is a great solution for her. And it might be for you. It's certainly something that you can talk about with your doctor. But, but like it's not the end all be all. What is important though is to stop consuming the gluten, and whether that's by fasting or just by like going back to the foods that 100% these are always safe, you know whatever it is, you need to stop the gluten. The second thing that you're going to want to do is treat your symptoms. And again, like I said, there's so many different symptoms out there. Celiac alone has over 200 different symptoms. you know how do you so you got to figure out what yours are, because you want to get yourself comfortable and get yourself as clear-headed as possible so that you don't accidentally turn around and gluten yourself again, which is something that I used to do a lot until I figured out like what I needed to arrange in my life. Like I would just go ahead and do it again because I had the brain fog, I wasn't thinking clearly, I wasn't sleeping well, and so I couldn't think straight enough to like stop and start, read my labels again. And so I would just like continually gluten myself. So stop what you're doing, treat your symptoms. Okay. Now, the rest of this is going to be like, it's going to sound generic, but I want to remind you that if you are here in this space, the odds are really good that you are avoiding gluten for medical reasons, right? Let me say that again. You are avoiding gluten for medical reasons, which means that there is a medical issue that is that's going on here, okay? So you need to give your body and your brain and yourself time to heal from whatever the gluten has set off in your body. Okay? This is the same as any other form of getting sick. This is the same as recovering from any other medical issue, right? You need to be gentle with yourself and hold yourself carefully like this for as long as the symptoms go on. And that means not beating yourself up, which I know a lot about, but it's also about being very gentle with your body while you are dealing with symptoms. So, what does that mean? Getting extra rest and giving your body the energy that it needs to heal, making sure that you're hydrated, right? And some people just use water, some people use extra electrolytes like Gatorade, something like that. Whatever works for you, make sure that you are staying hydrated. Um, and let's see. Yeah, and just give yourself the space to feel better and know that this is a physical thing. You're not making it up. You're not doing it for attention. This is real, and you are allowed. So you are allowed to ask for the space that you need in order to recover. Yeah. Yeah. And that can be pretty wild. I know that I pushed myself super, super hard. And the work that I was doing when I was, working for the man, I would just keep going to work and just run to the bathroom every 20 minutes or whatever, and like, oh, I wish I had given myself the sick days. I really do. Because the work that I did was so stressful that there was no way that I could like give myself the easy tasks. There wasn't anything easy. It was just constantly boom, 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 boom. And you wouldn't do that to yourself if you had a cold. You wouldn't do that to yourself if you were recovering from surgery or had broken your arm. You would be gentle. And that's the thing, is that this is a medical condition that requires you to be gentle with yourself again. Okay? So I just want to share that with you, that these are important things to think about and to keep in mind. Like, it's not a small thing when you're dealing with symptoms. Be gentle with yourself. Okay. So and give yourself grace, which, to be fair, is something that my friends still tell me about other stuff. So I know that it can be challenging to do that, but it's important to remember. Give yourself grace. I tell you what, if you give yourself grace, I will work on remembering to give myself grace too. If you remember to do it, I will remember to do it. How's that? Okay. All right. So that's it. That's about as detailed as I can get without knowing a person's situation more deeply. And even then, mostly it's going to just be like, make sure you talk to your doctor and treat your symptoms either over the counter or with medical oversight. That's it. That's what you do. So let's move on to the next section. We're going to do the Q&A. Alice says that she's been trying to be gluten-free for years, but she's still not sure how to read labels. Alice, oh my gosh, fabulous news for you. I mean, like, first of all, I'm really proud of you that you are stepping up and deciding now is the time you are going to do this, right? Today's the day. Today's the day that you make the decision. But I have a resource that I have just developed for people like you who are still trying to figure out how to read freaking labels. And this is most applicable in the US because our food labeling laws are kind of behind the rest of the developed world when it comes to this kind of thing. But like that's a whole other topic. But I have created a resource that has a bunch of different names for gluten, right? And so this is stuff that's actually made from wheat or usually made from gluten, containing ingredients. Like one of the ones that I mentioned the other day to a group of friends was couscous. And they were all like, no, couscous isn't. And I was like, no, it's pasta. It's made with wheat flour. And they were like, right? So it's got some stuff where like usually it's made with a gluten containing grain, or it is a gluten containing grain, it's just a different name. Like for example, farro. Farro is, I believe, a porridge made from wheat. Who knew? I've also got in there a couple of things that should be gluten free. It doesn't have gluten in it. There's no reason for it to be gluten, but it frequently cross contacts with gluten. So you still want to read the label a little bit and kind of like it's one of those eat at your own risk kind of things. What is your risk tolerance? Okay, so I'm going to drop that in the comments right now, and where you can go to grab your own copy. And yeah, you can, this is a list that you can print out and bring with you to the grocery store, or you can keep it on your device, your tablet or whatever when you're shopping, and you can just pull it up and look at everything. It should be in alphabetical order, so you can just quickly look, what is this? Where does it sit? And how safe do I feel eating this? So that is my gift to you, to anyone who wants it. And if you think that that someone would find this to be really useful, if they're just starting out, please do share that link with them. I want everybody to have access to this. Okay, so that's like this is that's why I made it free. It's like everybody needs to know this. This is important stuff. And the other thing that's really funny is I call it the 87 names for gluten, but there's actually like over 90, and that's not even comprehensive, but these are the most common ones, okay? So there might be a few that aren't on the list, and honestly, the food manufacturers are constantly coming up with new names for things, so it can be hard to keep up with it. But these ones are really common. Okay. So that is everything that I have for you today. I'm not seeing any other questions in the comments right now, so that's all good. So if you do have further questions about what we talked about today, either the what to do when you get gluten, or the different names for gluten, or how to read labels, drop me a comment, send me a DM. Let's talk about this. I want you to feel confident and ready and easy going when you go grocery shopping. This is this is so important. It is so basic to the human experience, right? So ask your questions and let's get you set up and ready to go. Okay. And I think that's everything for today. So I hope that you have a fabulous weekend. I hope that the air is clear and the stars shine brightly for you, and that you have a beautiful autumn, meteorological autumn weekend. And just I hope your life is awesome. Keep reading your labels, and I will see you next week. Take care, everybody.